introduce myself to your viewers.
Cool.
I was a part of the youtube.com/whatever group where we do crazy pranks and picking up girls videos. We have videos where we got like a dildo and put it in our pants and we picked up girls with a fake boner. That was a fun one. Proposing to random girls who went up to girls and tried to get their numbers without talking.
Yeah.
Just crazy stuff. And anyways, I started just getting lots of comments. People asking me, hey, how can I become more confident? And I was thinking about starting like a vlog channel. And one of my fans, Michael Vera, was, hey, you should check out this guy called Elliott Hulse. And I saw your channel. I was really inspired. I was like, whoa, that's kind of what I feel inspired to do. So
yeah, cool.
Thanks to you, it's kind of my new path and what I'm doing.
Yeah, it's good.
And I just want to say, you've right now, like between your two channels, have reached 85 million views. That's like
85 million views. That's crazy. I didn't even look at that.
Like just the positive ripples that you've like created in your life is like you probably can't even comprehend it. Like
I have no clue.
It's insane.
No clue,
so huge props to that. But anyways, I really appreciate your advice because it's genuine, and I feel like on any advice there's always layers, and the deeper you go, there's like someone's basic beliefs about the nature of reality, and just like when I wake up in the morning, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, why do I exist? And I'm just curious, what's your like deepest beliefs about just what's going on and just the nature of reality?
One thing that I would like to say is that I think we take it way too seriously. We've been taught to really to believe, because that's what it is. It's purely a belief that number one, we're separate from one another. That I'm just this. Like, this is it. That's all you get. You know, I'm just this meat suit. And it's a big lie. But I have so much fun manipulating the variables of my life, knowing that the reality is I'm way more than what you see. Yeah. And with that type of freedom comes the courage to do whatever you want to do. See, you've got kind of that courageous attitude about you, and that's why you can do the pickup thing. And other guys want to do that. Well, regardless of what language you use to describe it, the fact is that you are moving from a place of understanding, which says, I'm not just this. So I have enough balls to just walk up to a woman and do whatever I want, because there's way more going on here than just what you're seeing.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's a manifestation of your experiences. You're going to do the things that you do based on your experiences, and experiences are where? They're dead. They're in the air somewhere. You're going to do things based on your trust in the future. Like, where's the future? It's nowhere. It's in the air.
Yeah.
And if you have that type of ability to like detach from the physical manifestation of what's happening, and realize that there's a far greater reality, then life is so much more entertaining, because you won't take it so seriously. So, this is all it is?
Yeah. Yeah, one of my core beliefs I've been just experimenting with is that, you know, like when you go to sleep and when you dream, your consciousness isn't just your body in your dream, but your consciousness is actually the whole dream world. You're the other dream characters, you're the whole dream world. And while you're in the dream, it feels so real, like that you're the character. And then suddenly you wake up and you realize you're actually the whole dream world. And to
Isn't that fun, though? That's such a fun thought. That's awesome.
And to me, beliefs are just different lenses on how to look at reality. There's like, who knows what's right or wrong?
Different dreams.
Yeah. But so for me, yeah, beliefs. My whole life, I've been trying to figure out what are the most empowering beliefs that I can believe in.
Right.
And
how's it working for you? I mean, that's really the question I ask people about their beliefs. Like, they're so attached to their beliefs. They're personally identified with them, even though there's no rational reason why. But that's okay. You don't need to rationalize. All you got to do is say, well, how's that working for you? And if they're sick, sad, depressed, their wife cheats on them, and their kids don't respect them, then you know those beliefs aren't working for you, bro.
Yeah.
Try some new ones, but they can't, because they might go to hell.
Yeah, and I was talking to Steve Pavlina, and he really explained it well to me. He's like, beliefs aren't something to be attached to. Beliefs are more of a toolbox, and you could take a belief and just look through that belief and see what happens. And if it doesn't work, cool. If it does work, cool. But it's not yours. You don't have ownership of the belief. Yeah. But you could use it like a tool almost. It's Well, one of the beliefs I've been experimenting about, which is really cool because you hit on this a lot, like your last video about, like, where you say ignore everyone, is that I believe, like, real life is basically like a dream. I'm, I don't just have control over just me, but actually everything in my environment is me. Like, you're me right now. You're a part of my subconscious somewhere that's reflecting me. I'm a part of your subconscious that's reflecting you. We're both real. We're both real, but we're in like this mutual dream together, and we're like slowly. Like, I believe I'm God in a limited form, and I'm waking up to my true, infinite powers. Like, it sounds psycho, and I can't even.
Have you read Conversations with God by Neil Donald Walsh?
No.
You need to read. I don't say you need to read it because you'll learn something. I say you need to read it because you're gonna be like, oh yeah, that's it. Yeah, of course. You're gonna read it the whole time. You're gonna nod your head. You're gonna feel good because someone else is putting into other words exactly what you're feeling, which is that we're not separate.
Yeah, it's two people fighting are like a right hand and a left hand fighting each other, not realizing that they're connected to the same body.
Right.
That's
it's literal and figurative masturbation. So, we're just playing with ourselves. It feels good, but really, you're just playing with yourself.
Yeah. So
that's what we're doing as a race, playing with ourselves. You know, and even being attached to the outcome of the game is another form of playing with ourselves. Because it's like, well, you know what? We're all gonna die, and we can become sad about that. We can be sad about people who are dying because of the game. But even then, you're now a slave to a belief that it's like, well, do you really die? Because that means that you feel that this is it. Like, what you feel, hear, and touch is the end of the game. And that's the limiting belief.
Even the belief, even knowing that you're going to die could be a false belief. Who knows? Technology is changing so quickly. Like Ray Kurzweil, he's predicting like technology can advance so quickly that humans can invent immortality in like 50 years or something. We invent ways to download your brain into like computer system or make fake organs. We could be living for forever, like for all we know, which is the most crazy thought in the world to me.
But then what would be the fun? Because if you know you're going to live forever, then it's just like...
Well, think about it.
I want to see what's next.
Well, what's next is that technology is just going to keep getting bigger, and it's just going to keep getting better, better, and better, and we could invent literally anything to, you know, like...
Yeah, but don't you want to die at some point? I want to die. I want to see what it's like. Like, that's like that's like telling an ice cube, right? Like, imagine you got a bunch of ice cubes.
Yeah.
And you're like, you know, it'd be really bad to melt because then you won't be anymore. And all the ice cubes are like scared, like, oh my God, you know, I won't be an ice cube anymore. What happens if like heat happens and I melt? It would be such a tragedy. But you know what happens the minute that ice cube melts? It's liberated from its form. It's no longer that fucking square. Now it's water, and water can like fit into anything. You can't contain it. It's all over the place. It nourishes. It's amazing shit. And then what if you told the water, you know what? If it gets any hotter in here, you might become air. You mean I won't be water anymore? That would be terrible. That would suck.
Yeah.
But then as it happens, it turns into air, and it's like, whoa, now am I not just limited to this little slop of water on the ground? I can go everywhere. I can be clouds. I can be dew. I can do everything and be everything at once.
Yeah.
So to say I want to stay in this flesh for the rest of my life is like as retarded as a fucking ice cube saying I just want to be an ice cube.
Yeah, it's boring. Yeah.
Liberate me. I want to see what's next. I want to be water. I want to be air.
Yeah.
I want to see what that shit is all about.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think that this is all these new mindsets have just hit me within the last like 3 years, and it's almost a little bit scary. It's like, fuck, what's going on?
How old are you?
I feel like I'm Neo, like waking up in the Matrix, you know? And it's cool.
Dude.
My way of experimenting with these beliefs was like going around and picking up girls. Like that was my way to get my, like, if this is true, I could go around and pick up girls, and boom, what happened? And now my motivation to like make these vlogs is, all right, am I crazy now? Am I going to end up in a mental hospital, or like am I really onto something? You know, like, so now I like.
Hopefully they put you in a mental hospital. That means you're actually saying something.
That'd be fun.
You know what I'm saying? Because if you keep following the rules, you'll end up like a politician or a banker or something. That looks like shit. Put me in a mental institute. At least like you've got interesting people to talk to.
Yeah.
Running in circles and shit. Cuckoos.
Yeah, one of my favorite videos that you did was your Brain Slave No More video. And I really liked it because you showed your craziness. You were...
Sorry, continue. I just need to
in that video, you showed your craziness. You showed all your neuroticism. You were going like, what the fuck is going on? You were shaking on your bed. that was fucking awesome. Like,
thanks.
I think as like so many people around the world look up to you. I think like one of the biggest gifts like a guru figure like you could give to people is self-empowerment. And one of the best ways to give self-empowerment is just to be a fucking psycho. Just be crazy. Like, people say
and it resonates with so many people. There's this one line by Eminem in his song, I forget the name of the song. It's probably his most popular song, but you know, me. Okay. He goes, I rap about the things that you only talk with your friends about in their living room. The only difference is I got the balls to say it. And he basically says the reason why I'm so influential is because I'll say whatever the fuck you're thinking. And a lot of times I hesitate, but I'm like, I guarantee that what I'm about to say, although it will piss a lot of people off, the greater majority are going to say, oh my God, I thought the same thing. Except no one has the balls to say it. No one's trying to look at it in themselves, and they sure as hell ain't going to tell anybody else. So it's a form, like you're saying, it's a form of liberation. I'm basically giving you permission to say, you know, if this guy is allowing himself to be nuts, then maybe it's okay that I am too.
Yeah. I really like what you're saying with Frank Yang. Like, people have like energy built up in them. And and the big, like, one of the healthiest things to do with your life is to release that energy. And the best way to do that is, you hit on this in so many of your videos, is being vulnerable. Just like and my method of being vulnerable is like, I'm just in a dream. Like, everyone's me, so why wouldn't I tell people my true self? You know, why hide anything from anyone? Because everyone is.
You know what you do though? You take risks.
Yeah.
It may seem like a little risk, you know, to some people. Like, oh, big deal, he talks to girls. Well, some guys, that's a life-threatening risk. I mean, the physiological changes in their body when a woman comes near, it's like, it's almost as if like someone put a gun to their head. They're so stressed out. But you have the courage to just do whatever your heart desire, and that takes a shitload of courage and self-transcendence.
And see, what's an even higher form of courage to me is like being vulnerable and saying open things, which you hit on. Like, going up and talking to girls is like that, oh, I'm such an alpha male, like, look at me. It's almost like an ego form of courage.
Oh, gotcha. It's a story that you're telling yourself. It helps.
Yeah, but when you're actually vulnerable, my most popular vlog video right now is a video where I talk about porn and masturbation. And I'm just straight up honest. I'm like, I've watched a shit ton of porn. Sometimes I'll jack off 6 times a day, guys. You
know what? Most people have to.
It was actually really hard for me to upload that video. I'm like, wait, I got. But uploading that video was actually harder than talking to girls, and like, people are like, because I'm just opening up about something that's, I had all this energy built up inside of me about like porn and masturbation and kind of some guilt, and I just had to release that to the world. And just your video about releasing energy really motivated me to do that. It's like, gotta get this pressure out of me.
Oh yeah, you totally have to, because life is a movement. And if we're not moving it, we're impeding it. And life is trying to happen through you. The only thing you could possibly do besides let go and allow life to happen is hold it in. And that's fucking uncomfortable, because number one, you're stressing yourself out. Now you're all neurotic and shit. And number two, you're literally a roadblock to God or the universe to do its freaking thing. And God or the universe doesn't make any mistakes. It doesn't fuck up. We think we're trying to fix nature, but it's like, all we're doing is getting in the way. If nature wants to do this through me, as long as I know I'm out of the way, then it's right, no matter what anyone else thinks or says.
Yeah, completely agreed. It's cool because I've seen you go through all these paradigms in your videos, and then while I'm living my life, the paradigms will come true. It's like you're kind of my guide to life. I'll watch a video, like, that's interesting, and then I'll go out and like, whoa, that's like, I'll try out your ideas and be like, that's true.
It works.
And another great, like your thing, it's like yielding to the universe. To me, like, the universe is like a river, and the cool thing about my picking up girls videos is, and like my pranks, is there's like girls upstream, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna paddle upstream and try to pick up these girls. And the funny thing is, I like all the girls I picked up in those videos, I like never had any chemistry with. It was weird, and I realized I was going against like God and nature. You know, I was going upstream.
That was ego. You're performing.
It was
You're just doing
ego.
something.
Yeah, but it was actually going downstream to learn the lesson. Like going upstream is going downstream to learn the lesson in the future. If that makes sense, you know what I'm saying?
Yes. Yeah, I get it. You're putting forth effort so that you can learn how to let go.
Gotcha. Yeah. So, Elliott, what are your biggest desires in life right now?
I had this conversation with someone earlier today. It's almost like when two people are dancing, and you're dancing, and I mean truly dancing. I mean you're fully enrolled in the movement, in the music, and that other individual. You don't dance with hopes of an end. You don't express in that way so that you can get to the end. The purpose of a dance is not to finish it. And we're constantly looking for ends. I do the same thing, and I'm learning how not to. We're constantly looking for a goal. You know, they say a means to an end. An end is basically a goal. Yeah. A goal. I don't want an end. I'm not that interested in ends right now. What I'm really interested in is this dance of life and growing more and more sensitive to how the God that I'm dancing with wants to take this dance with me, because it's part me and it's part it. So as the universe dances through me and I let it and then I exert a little bit, we're just having this fun entanglement.
Nice.
And whatever happens, happens, but it's going to be beautiful. So I know this sounds crazy, but the minute I have attachments, goals, and plans, like, you know, I forget the word you use, but, you know, desires for the future, I feel like I'm fucking up the dance.
Yeah.
So I don't have any right now. I'm just dancing, and this fucking dance is great.
Nice. I love it. A new way I like to look at life is, instead of seeing myself as a protagonist, like, let's say there's a play going on, and instead of seeing myself as like a main character in the play, I like to think of myself as almost like the director of the play. Like, how can I make the most cool, magical interaction in life right now? And it's like what you're saying about being in the dance. It's just a whole new perspective, and it's a way to let that God, spirit, whatever's going on, it's just a way to allow that to work more within your life.
There are two sides of the coin, you know, and one of the parts is aggression. And that's, we get really caught up in aggression. And aggression is our ability to manipulate. What am I doing to do things? But what we forget quite often, and in so many different ways, is that that's only 50% of the game. The other half is tenderness. And if I try to attach to 50% of this coin, half of the coin, heads only, I really miss the total game, which means there's got to be some allowing. So you do, and then you allow. You do, you allow. You do, you allow. And really, that's, if you just study the nature of the human body, it's kind of exactly the way we live. You put food in your mouth, but are you digesting it? Are you assimilating the nutrients? Are you deciding what's waste product and what needs to be filtered, and you know, how to the peristalsis? Are you actually using the muscles like you do this with your bicep, the peristaltic movement in your colon as the shit makes its way out of your ass? No! You're allowing that part. It's half us, half it.
Yeah.
That's.
Do you think you're like, at your deepest nature, that you're an infinite being?
The intent that something's gonna jump out and bah, and like scare you, and you're gonna shit your pants. You're just gonna freak out.
Yeah.
That's the nature of the human being. We're a physical manifestation of a cloud reality, a spiritual reality.
Yeah.